Hello, my name is Tobias Patmore. I am currently a student at U of W. I'm taking a class in the contemporary issues of inner city education underneath Dr. Heather Hunter. And throughout this class, I've had this one picture in mind. This is a photo of a program that I worked at right on Spence Street, close to the U of W. This program that I was running was meant for fundamental movement development for children. And so basically, I just played lots of games with the kids, and we were on the basketball courts over on the far right side. And I would run this program, and they were loving it. And when they got tired, they would go over to this water park here, this beautiful water park, and they would be able to enjoy that too. There was also a nice indoor gym available to the children, so when it got too hot outside, they would be able to be inside. There was also plenty of staff working in this program, and if it was a really hot day, these staff would give the children's freezies. Now, this is all cheerful and good, but there are some things that I haven't told you that were also happening at this program. For one, it wasn't a really safe, clean environment. There was broken glass all over the place from beer bottles, ripped up aluminum cans. There were needles as well on the grounds, and this was a huge hazard, and it was never getting cleaned up. I would get there every week, and I'd have to swipe the glass from the courts, and there was plenty of staff there, but they did nothing about any of this garbage that was all over the floor. And over the summer, there was kids there every single day, and these kids were running barefoot, and they were laughing, smiling, enjoying themselves. And meanwhile, there's a huge hazard that they've probably already stepped on that wasn't being solved. Part of it could be neglect from the staff that are working there. But another problem that came up in the State of the Inner City report from 2012 is funding. And funding is an ongoing issue, and it causes a lot of staff turnover. So maybe the issue is that there is not enough staff there at the program for long enough to even realize that there is a problem with the grounds that they are working at. In class, we've been learning about the three R's: relationship, relevance, and responsibility. At this program in particular, because of the high turnover from the staff, there is less of a capacity to make any sort of meaningful relationship. And with relationships being one of the most important things for educators and people dealing with children, it makes it really hard for the children to receive what they need because there is no relationship being made between them and the people that they are being cared for by. And this lack of relationship also means that these people do not know what the children need, and the children are not comfortable enough to tell them what they need because there is no relationship. And this then goes into the relevance part of the three R's. And because there is no relationship, they do not know what is relevant to the children. They do not know what these children enjoy and what is best suited for them. Like, do they like to run around? Do they like to draw? They don't know because they haven't been there long enough to have a relationship. And next goes to responsibility. The staff here are responsible for the needs of all the children that attend their program. Obviously, a lot of the needs here from this place are not 100% being met. And this can be seen in the states of their area, their grounds. There's glass everywhere, there's needles, and that is not meeting the physical needs of the children, because there is the capability that they will be hurt, and they're also not meeting the emotional needs. Seeing all this broken glass and needles in an area where they're supposed to be playing can affect them emotionally, right? And I'm not saying all this to just drag this program. It was a great program. The people obviously cared, but they weren't there long enough to know what they needed to care for. And if the funding was being met, then the staff needs would be met, and then the children's needs would then be met because these staff would know all about these children. They know what they're responsible for. They know what is relevant to the children. And this is because they would have a relationship with the children, because they would stay long enough to actually be able to build that. I believe old people, especially children, have great potential. And it is obvious by these children at this program that I was working at that they had a lot of potential, and they had a whole area where they could meet their potential, and a whole area that was able to meet some of their needs. They had a water park, they had games to play, they had a large space to play those games, but they're being held back by some of the things that was in their environment, such as the broken glass, the needles, and the people putting them there that are hanging around a children's play area, right? And this goes back to a video I watched called Youth's Lens on Poverty. And it talked a lot about all this wasted potential that is in the inner city. But it also talked about some hope. In class, we talked about 3 different types of hope. One is the material hope, and this is resources to increase the sense of control in the lives of young people. So we give resources to then have young people feel that they have control and that they are able to act upon their environment and not be acted upon by their environment. The second hope was the Socratic hope, and that is for us as educators to take risks and accept challenges so that we can be effective in children's education. The third hope is an audacious hope. Students should be treated as our very own children. Their pain is our pain. And this is something that I try to implement as much as I can in my own, I guess, experience as an educator. I want to do my best in really caring for the child or children that I am responsible for, because in that way, I am then really going to the best of my abilities to meet their needs, because their pain is my pain. I really care about them, so that means their needs will be met, and I will try my hardest to help meet those needs.